Hi everyone! In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to use the poll feature in Zoom meetings. Hello everyone and welcome to the Pathology TLDR, where we know that sometimes in pathology you just need a quick little reminder of things, and this channel aims to help. Hello, my name is Dr. Carlo Ohilia. I'm an anatomical pathologist with subspecialty training in hematopathology. So this series of videos in this channel focuses on pathology online education. And in particular, this video, I'm going to show you how to set up polls in Zoom meetings when teaching pathology online. Okay, so you've probably all seen polls being used in Zoom by now. It's a great way to promote interactivity within your teaching sessions and really helps engage your learners. To use the Zoom poll feature, you must have the following. First, an account, either free or licensed, it doesn't really matter. Second, an access to your online account via the zoom.us website and not via the Zoom app or desktop client. And third, ideally a host or co-host status when you are in a meeting in order to launch the polls. Now, for simplicity and in moving forward, I will assume that you have an account, i.e. that you are a speaker or the organizer of a meeting, and that you are the host/creator of your meeting. So there are three ways to create polls. The first one is creating your polls ahead of time before your talk, which is highly recommended. The second way is to set up your polls while in meetings, which I don't normally recommend. And the third way is to have someone else do it for you, i.e. the meeting organizer. This is by far the easiest way, but I figure you're here because you want to know how to do this by yourself. Okay, so to set up a Zoom poll ahead of time, first log into your Zoom account by going to http.zoom.us. So when you go into zoom.us, you'll go into the sign-in screen, enter your email address and password, and go in. And once you're in, it'll bring you to your default, which is the meetings page. Oh, you want to go over to the settings first. In meeting settings, the basic version. And when you go down and scroll down for this, make sure that this option where it says polling is turned on. By default, it's on, especially for the newest version. So you shouldn't have to worry about this, but it's always just a good idea to check. Once you have that check, it means that any meetings that you're setting up is defaulted to being able to create polls. To navigate back to your meetings, click whatever meeting that you have. So in this case, I'm clicking on this My Meeting demo. Like, you don't need to start, but just click on it. So this will bring you to your meetings page where you can set up, invites, your meeting ID settings, security settings, and things like that. Towards the end though, if you'll notice, if you navigate, there's this box that says you have not created any poll yet. So this is where you would create your poll. So you click on add. Okay, so this brings up this window of when you're adding a poll. So there's different sections to this. So the first part here is the title for your poll, which helps identify your poll. The second line here, it asks whether you want the results to be anonymous or not. And what this means is basically Zoom has the ability to generate reports for you at the end of your meetings, including poll results, especially what your participants replied to can be tracked. So usually I click on this to make it anonymous. That way no one's responses or their information is being tracked and recorded. In this section, you will type in your question, and here you have a choice of either clicking a single choice answer or a multiple choice answer. Single choice is just your regular multiple choice question with only one answer, and multiple choice, as it says, allows for multiple answers. So pretty self-explanatory. And then you have an option of up to 10 different answers. Once you do that, there's also this option here where it says add a question. We'll go into that a bit more, but basically you have the option here to create another question, but when you do it this way, just keep in mind that your polls end up being a very long page. So I typically don't use that just because tends to be it can be very long, and instead I would recommend that you create a separate poll for each question that you have. It just makes for a better presentation, and I'll show you examples of that. When you're ready to add your poll question, it's as simple as copying and pasting from a Word document. So in this case, I have a Word document ready and set up with my questions. This is just a sample set of questions that I use for one of my teaching rounds. Yeah, you just copy and paste these things. Okay, so now that you've copied your question and your answers, make sure that you click Anonymous, and then you just click Save. Once you click Save, your meeting page will then be updated, and it will say that you have created one poll for this meeting. You have a total of 25 polls that you can have for every meeting, and within that you can have I think 10 for poll question from that add question segment. And basically you can have up to 250 questions if needed. So quite impressive. So now that you have this first poll for your meeting, you have different options. You can either choose edit if you want to go back to your poll, or you can just delete it. You can pull down this menu. It will give you an idea of what the questions are. And also, if you have more questions, then you click on Add, and it will bring you to that same window. For demonstration purposes, I've created 2 additional polls just to show you the example. So the first poll is what we've seen already. The second poll is just another single question, similar to the other one. And then the third poll has an example of a run-on poll question where it has 2 questions. And again, you do that by clicking that add question. So I'll just show you. If you click edit on here, it'll show you that first question, right? And the options. And it will show you your second question as well as your options. And if you click on here, you can enter a third question. But we'll keep this. We'll delete this for now and keep it to 2 question run-on poll question. We'll just save that now, and then we'll demonstrate inside a meeting what those things look like. Now that you've launched your meeting, it's important to make sure that you check whether you're host or co-host in this meeting. The quickest way to check that is through the participant list. Right beside your name, you should have your status, either host or co-host. And the other way to check it is the expanded menu buttons at the bottom, where you should have polls, record, closed caption available to you if you're host or co-host. When you're ready to launch your polls, it's as simple as pressing this button, and voila. Right now it'll show you the default screen, which is the first question. If you click on this down arrow, you'll see your poll question number 2, as well as number 3 that we created, which is this run-on question. When you're ready to launch the poll, click launch poll, and this poll will now be broadcasted to your audience with a timer here, and it'll give you an idea. It'll show you the number of people that have voted, and it's pretty neat because being on this side of the fence for polls, it's nice to see the answers as they come in. Really kind of gives you an idea of what the audience is thinking or where their answers might be at. When you're done, you end the poll, and then it will give you an option of sharing or relaunching the poll. And usually you want to click share so that then you broadcast the results of those poll to your learners. Now I'll show you an example. So that's the individual poll. When you're ready to proceed with poll number 2, you can launch just like that, and again it'll give you just this one question. For now I'll show you what the run-on poll question is like. So as you can see, there's a 2 question. This is what it looks like, and it will be a run-on question where it displays both of your questions at once. So that's why I don't really like this format, because depending on how many questions you have, it can be a very long type of question where people have to scroll and things like that. So I'd much rather have individual questions set up first and kind of launch them at different parts of the talk to kind of break up that monotony and continually engage your learners. But if this is something that you like, this is also available. So those are the 2 main different types of polls. Once you're finished launching your polls, Zoom does have the option of being able to track your poll results if you need to go back to them. That can be found in the meeting reports. Once you're done with polls, you just either close it or minimize, it doesn't matter. And so that's it. Congratulations, you just designed a poll and was able to launch it in a Zoom meeting. If you have any further questions or comments, as well as suggestions for other topics, just let me know in the comments below. Please continue to subscribe and click on those notifications as well.